Okay, hi. We're Jim and Tracy Duval, and we're coming to you live from Flat Rock, North Carolina, our summer residence. And it's great to be able to talk to you today about Lakewood Ranch Baptist. And the way we started out about a little over a year ago, we decided that we needed to look for a new church home. And the first thing we did was we prayed about it. We prayed as a couple, and we prayed individually that God would lead us to the right church and to the right connect group. And we visited Lakewood Ranch several times. We visited connect groups. We continued to visit other churches throughout this process. And I'll just have to say that we felt that God led us to Lakewood Ranch, and we both felt it at the same time.
Also, the first time we went to a connect group there, when we were trying various connect groups, a couple in the class invited us to sit with them in church, and then after the church service they invited us to go to lunch. And in the 6 years that we had belonged to the other church and we had served at the other church, no one had ever invited us to go to lunch with them. So that was also a very positive, warm, inviting feeling.
When this situation arose, or the opportunity arose to buy the building, I was really impressed with what I was seeing and hearing from this committee that was organized. It wasn't the pastor pushing for this. It wasn't the staff. It wasn't the deacons. This committee was an exploratory committee, and they did a wonderful job analyzing the options on the building, the financing options, whether we should continue to lease, whether we should look for a new location and lease somewhere else. And it was just very enlightening. And the fact that it wasn't pushed on us, it was presented to us, and then we had the opportunity to get together as a congregation and to vote on what we wanted to do. But before we made a final vote, Pastor Lance led prayer, and we continued to pray for, I think, 6 weeks, and we were encouraged to pray individually, and that's why I feel so good about the decision.
The first Sunday that Pastor Lance asked the church congregation to pray as a group about whether to buy the church, when I bowed my head and prayed, I asked God how much to give, and an amount popped into my head, and it was an amount that my first impression was, oh no, God, not that much, but I immediately started thinking about it, and I knew that it was a message from God, because the devil doesn't tell you to give that much to a church. And so I didn't want to allow the devil to have time to work on us, so I went to the bank and moved money from savings into checking and delivered the check to Lance before we left to come back to North Carolina. And I have to tell you that I have been very joyous and excited about what the church and what that money can do to save lives and to teach children about God and about Jesus. It's very exciting to me. I don't think that money could be used for anything better. There's nothing I could possibly buy with that money that would be more important. You know, my husband and I are both retired, so we live off of our savings. So the amount that the Lord asked for was uncomfortable. But there's no doubt in my mind that God has provided, and He always will. And we're excited. We're very excited about giving to this church.